special guest in studio. It's that time again. Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto joins us in studio. Dr. Jaimie, how are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
It's our type of weather. We love that. We've talked about that so often. It's a nice chill in the air in the morning.
Lovely.
Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto from Cinema Vet on Cinema Drive. I have no idea how you figured that out, but good call. Good call on branding.
Thanks.
For sure, because now we know exactly where to go when we need a vet for our pet.
Yeah.
Now, you come in on a regular basis, and we talk about all kinds of stuff, I think we've talked about absolutely everything. Over the weekend, I got an email and a big scenario, and this person needed an answer from you specifically. Okay. So I'm going to read the email and see what you think. Over the weekend, my in-laws' Chihuahua would yelp. Oh, it's a Chihuahua mix. Would yelp when we tried to pick him up. He barely had an appetite. He was shaking a lot and pacing. He's normally a very active and friendly and happy dog. There was something clearly wrong, but my in-laws didn't want to take him to the ER, so they waited until Monday to take him to the vet. Turns out he had injured his back. He's on pain meds and fluids because he was dehydrated. In this situation where you can't take them to the vet right away, what's the best thing to do to make the animal as comfortable as possible? I tried to lay on the floor with him and just stroke his head for a couple of hours to try and calm down. He wasn't shaking so badly anymore. At what point, I guess this is the actual question, At what point should you absolutely try and take the animal to an ER? Because when an animal gets hurt or injured, it always happens on the weekend or at midnight.
It's true. It's almost always true.
That happens to us too. Do you always feel like you wake up on a Saturday morning and you have some kind of pain or you're sick all of a sudden on the weekend, right?
Right. It is. Yeah. Animals can't really know when they're not going to plan when to get injured or fall ill. So that is why we have, 24-hour clinics and over the weekend clinics to be open when we can't be there all the time. So they definitely serve a purpose. And I would say that if you're concerned enough, then, you should go right when you're concerned. It's hard when our pets are not feeling well or if they're in pain because they can't talk to us and they can't tell us.
Why is that, Dr. Jaimie?
I know.
Why can't we
really should
make
work
that
on
happen?
that.
Right? Can put a man on the moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But our friends can't talk to us. So it's hard because, especially with a small dog, sometimes it's hard to tell, are they really hurt? Is their stomach upset? They are very emotional creatures, and so it can be hard to determine what the actual problem is. Mm-hmm. I would say I never recommend giving anything at home for pain relief if you haven't already been prescribed it for your pet in particular, because a lot of our human medications that we would take for pain relief are actually really bad for them. They don't metabolize them the same way that we would do. So we may do more harm than good by giving them.
Are you
that.
suggesting that there are people, pet owners, who might give someone like a half of a Vicodin or something?
I've had people come in and just not knowing any better and say, I gave them Tylenol or Advil or something.
Oh, even over the counter. Over the counter. Got it.
Even stuff like that, they don't metabolize the same way, and that can cause more harm than good. So I never recommend you using anything of human products at home for your pets. Always call us if you have questions. Certainly seeing your vet is the most important thing. Back injuries are really no joke. They can get really serious really quickly.
Oh, really? Why is that?
So depending on the type of back injury, when you have pinched nerves, not only is it very painful, you get muscle spasms too, and so then that adds to the pain. And sometimes it's hard to determine if it's abdominal pain or true back pain because they get so tight and hunched over. But in some cases, the nerves are so pinched that it starts to affect them being able to walk. And so if at any point your animal is showing signs of paralysis, that's truly an emergency. You would want to get them seen absolutely right away.
What they described in this email, what would your call have been? ER or waited out till the following day?
I mean, it's hard to say. Obviously, in this case, the dog ended up being fine. I never want owners to wait if they're concerned enough. You know, it's sometimes a hard call to make. So you know your pet the best, and if they're concerning you enough and they're not acting right, it's better to be safe than sorry and just go right then, rather than waiting and potentially having something
bigger.
get worse, you know, with time. Yeah.
Back injuries. I know my dog had a back injury not so long ago, and I didn't know that at all, obviously.
Yeah.
Because my vet license is coming. It's coming. It's in the mail somewhere. I think it's lost. We took her in, and turned out that it was a back injury. And you guys are, I have to say, you know, regular doctors are great. They're great. But as vets, you guys blow me away, because you guys are missing that one element of the pet saying, yeah, it hurts me right here.
Right.
Or it hurts me when I do this. You have to figure that out all on your own. You know, your diagnostic skills are amazing to me because of that one element, the one sense that they're lacking. So we took the dog in, and the right away, the vet did some acupuncture, and I was amazed. Within moments, the dog had responded. It was amazing. How do you feel about acupuncture?
I think it's great. I think it definitely has a place in veterinary medicine as well as human medicine for many, many different problems. And I'm actually hoping to go sometime in this next year and start taking courses so I can become certified too, because I've seen it firsthand that it works really well for all sorts of things, but especially, you know, for pain relief, it's very effective.
What exactly does acupuncture do? Because, you know, all I see are, you know, little needles. Actually, the needles for the dogs are actually longer. Because do they have to get through the fur and the hair? Is that the point of?
Probably it has to get to a certain point in the subcutis or epidermis. So you're basically stimulating around nerves. So you're not poking the nerve itself, obviously, but you're stimulating points around nerves, just as if, you know, certain pressure points, like if you squeeze between your thumb and your forefinger, it helps with headaches, that kind of thing.
Yes.
With yourself. It's sort of the same idea that certain areas on your body, if you stimulate them in an appropriate way, it will help relieve pain and inflammation. There's a certain point on their forehead that you can stimulate that will help keep them calm. It just really super relaxes them. So we can use it for all sorts of different.
Do they go hand in hand? Acupressure and acupuncture?
Yeah.
Are they kind of the same basic theory of?
Exactly.
Okay. So I can't recommend it highly enough. I know as a person, I go to get it done. Never really knew what was going on. I just let them do it. But I do know that it seems to work.
Yeah.
It seems to work. And so when they did it on the dog, and I'm telling you, the needles are a little longer for the dog. But and it doesn't. There's no pain involved. You know, you think of all these needles.
Right. You don't feel it.
Absolutely, there's nothing. And how does that happen? How do you stick little needles in the skin, even for the dog or the human, and you don't feel it? Is it because they're so teeny?
I think it's because they're so small.
They're so small. So there's that. Dr. Jaimie, thank you for answering this email for one of our listeners. I appreciate that. Hopefully this will kind of grease the wheel for others to email in and obviously come to see you, one of the best vets in Santa Clarita, and just, you know, all around kind of cool person. Which is
Thank you.
Which is, well, you know what, when you take your pet in, your ball of nerves, because you don't know what's going on.
Right.
And if you have a cool vet, it's good for everybody. Best phone number, website, what do you want to tell our listeners?
Yeah, phone number 661-253-9300. And the website is cinemavet.com.
Do you have any specials coming up as far as vaccinations, or does a dog get a flu shot like the humans?
So not the same way that humans do, but there is a canine influenza vaccine that we certainly discuss with owners. It's sort of a lifestyle vaccine. So if your animal's getting boarded a lot, around a lot of other dogs, then it's definitely recommended.
Gotcha. And you'll talk to them about that
Yep.
on an individual basis.
Yeah.
Dr. Jaimie, always a pleasure. Thanks for
Thanks.
coming in.
Thank you.